Do you want to rank higher on Google? Do you have dreams of becoming number one on Google for your top keywords? If you're a pet business owner, then I can only assume your answer to that is a resounding and strong heck yes. I've got to say, I've been waiting the most to do an episode on SEO because it's something that I've been nerding out over lately, and it's something I feel super passionate about sharing information on for two reasons. One, it's so dang underrated in terms of the impact that it can have on your business when it's done right and you have the proper foundations. And two, it's one of those topics that's really become so purposefully confusing and overwhelming, and it doesn't have to be either of those things. SEO specialists charge hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a month to help you, in quotes, with your SEO on the premise that it's just above your knowledge or capabilities. And it's one of those things that has really just kind of irked me a bunch, especially because I was in that same boat. When I started learning more about SEO, I realized it isn't actually that complicated. I was almost like, what am I missing here? There's got to be something I'm missing because this should be more complicated because that's what everyone told me, right? But it's not that way, especially for smaller and local businesses like most of you listening. So it has become my mission to share more about SEO in a way that is easy and simple so you can start ranking higher without spending a ton of money monthly on paid ads and things like that. Now, of course, if you know anything about SEO, you know that the big time results typically come over the course of several months, perhaps even a year for the big changes. But the cool thing with SEO is that once you get these results, they start to grow exponentially year after year. That being said, there are plenty of things that you can do easily and see results sooner rather than later, and that's what we're going to specifically talk about on today's episode. I'll be sharing 8 essential strategies to elevate your SEO and get your site noticed faster. These are things that you can likely start to see results a bit quicker, and I'll also specifically share things that can purposefully speed up that process. Be sure to stay tuned all the way to the end of the episode because some of the last tips I have for you are my absolute favorites and are ones that are not often talked about when it comes to SEO strategy. Let's get into it. Welcome, Petpreneur, to the Pet Marketing Unleashed podcast. I'm your host, Michaela Vargas, founder, designer, and educator behind Pet Marketing Unleashed. This podcast is all about growing your pet business without the stress. Here, you'll find episodes packed with actionable tips and advice for streamlining your online presence, avoiding burnout, and onboarding new clients while you're away from your desk or out with the dogs. So pop in those earbuds and learn stress-free marketing and website strategies with me while you head out on your next dog walk, pet sitting visit, drive to your next session, or just wherever your pet business takes you next. Let's dive in. I'm sure most of you have at least a basic familiarity with what SEO is, but we're still going to go over what it is and how it actually works in layman's terms. SEO stands for search engine optimization, and it's the process of optimizing your website in a way that search engines will like, thus increasing where you show up on search engine results. As SEO expert Neil Patel tells us, SEO is your 24-hour salesperson. SEO is what allows someone to search their problem 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and have your website show up as a solution to their problem. Okay, now that you know what it is, I think it's important to understand how it works so that you can start to piece together the puzzle pieces of a solid SEO foundation. Essentially, Google has a powerful, ever-changing algorithm or set of automated metrics. They use these metric scanners or robots, is what we call them, to scan websites and read them properly so that they can file each website page on the internet according to their content and settings. That's how they know what each page of every website is all about and therefore knows where to place each page in the search results of a search inquiry. So this process is essentially Google's way of sorting through all of the content out there and finding the best solution to people's searches. And it's a lot to sort through. There are around 7 million blog posts posted per day, according to First Site Guide. That is a lot. So when we set up and optimize our SEO, we're helping Google place our website page where we want it to, and it's going to be as a result to searchers searching for what you are offering as a solution to their problem. The reason I love and use SEO as a way to grow my business is that it's a long-term marketing strategy compared to a post on social media where your content and posts essentially get lost in the feed within seconds or minutes and say only 2% of your followers even see your content anyway, right? So with SEO, your growth can continue to grow over time. In fact, my biggest traffic generator to date is a blog post that I wrote way back in 2018. That's pretty cool. That's why I love SEO. So what we're going to talk about today are some steps that you can take to see faster results in the search rankings. And by faster, I don't mean by tomorrow. I'm talking maybe a few weeks. The results you see depend on how competitive your market is or what the keyword is, the quality of your website, and other factors that extend outside of SEO, like how effective your brand messaging is, your onboarding process, and so much more that really affects how long people stay on your website and whether they want to work with you or not. So this is not a one-all solution here, but these are some basic SEO tips that can get you seeing results faster. So let's get into some of these. Number 1, ensure proper indexing. This is the first step because without your site being indexed, it won't show up on Google. You want to make sure your pages are indexed by the search engines. When your site is indexed, it means that when someone searches for something related to your business, your website can now show up in the results. You can check which pages are indexed by using Search Engine Console. If you don't already have Search Engine Console account, you can create an account and connect your website to it. Once it's set up, all you would need to do is navigate to the coverage section to see what's indexed and what isn't. If you have any pages that are de-indexed, which means they are not indexed on Google, you can investigate why that particular page is de-indexed and address any issues with any of those pages. This is a good confirmation of what pages are already indexed and which are not. And setting up an account like this can allow you to manage those sort of issues that may pop up. If you've been around for a long time, like your website has been up for several years, your site is likely already indexed without Search Engine Console, which is great. But Search Engine Console is still beneficial to set up because you can have a bit more control in which pages are indexed. You can see some invaluable insights and you can manually push through indexing faster, which we will get into more later. But you essentially have more control over what's being shown and making sure that you're addressing any issues that may pop up that you may not even realize are issues because you're not being notified because you don't have a Search Engine Console account. If you haven't already, make sure your website is indexed with Search Engine Console so it'll show up in Google. We will have the links for all of these tips, by the way, in the show notes so that you have access to getting all of these steps completed. So the link for Search Engine Console will be in the show notes as well as in the blog post for this episode. If you are completely stuck on Search Engine Console, we also get into this with several tutorials inside of our SEO course that walks you through the setup process for this as well. And again, that'll be something that we'll link in the show notes, but it is petmarketingunleashed.com/SEO-course. All right, step number 2, conduct a broken link check. Broken links are links on your website that either do not load or they lead to an error page or like a 404 page. If you have a blog post, for example, and you're linking to another website in that blog post, or perhaps you have an old booking software link that has since been updated and no longer works, that's a broken link. Broken links not only frustrate users, but can also hurt your SEO. Google is always trying to make sure that the website pages they're putting up in the search engine results are high quality and they lead to quality sources of information and not broken links. Broken links do not help with you being able to do that. So you can use free tools like Broken Link Checker to find and fix any broken links on your website. Keeping your links intact helps improve user experience and shows the search engines that your site is well maintained and updated. You're still a reputable and active business. So I highly recommend making a note on your to-do list to check for any broken links on your website, as this is a really quick and easy way to make sure all links are working properly on your website. Number 3, revise page title tags and any other SEO page settings. Before that sounds really technical, essentially every page of your website has SEO page settings. This is where you can customize things like your page title tags, your URL slug, and your meta description. Let's get into all of those. So your title tags are crucial. They essentially tell users and your search engines what your page is about. You want to make sure each page has a unique and descriptive title. You want that title to include your business name and what the page is about. You can also include your location if you have space for it, but you also need to be mindful of space. You do not want your page title tag to be more than about 60 characters or so. So keep that in mind. You want to keep it as short and concise as possible. Now, it's also worth looking at your meta descriptions and slugs to ensure that they are also optimized for your target keywords for that particular page. The slug is the part of the URL that comes after your main URL, your domain that you have purchased. So for example, for Pet Marketing Unleashed, on our About page, our URL is petmarketingunleashed.com/about, the slug is about. Just about is the slug. That's something that you can customize within your SEO settings as well, or you should at least be able to do that within your website platform. You want your slugs as short and sweet as possible, using the main keyword and separating each word with a dash so Google can read it properly. As for your meta description, you want to briefly describe what the page is all about, again, while using important keywords like your business name, what you offer, what the page is about, and your location area. I recommend keeping this no longer than 160 characters so that it fits into the search engine results without being cut off. Otherwise, no one's seeing it. So head over to your website platform, go into each page's settings, and customize the SEO page settings for each page of your website. That'll be a big game changer. All right, step number 4, update old blog posts versus just writing new ones. Updating old blog posts instead of writing new ones is a really effective strategy, and it's really one of my favorites because it's also a huge time saver while still giving you results, right? You're not just creating a blog post from scratch, you're actually updating old ones to make them more relevant. This might seem a little bit counterproductive, but it's a great way to boost SEO, and here's why. 1, Google loves updated content. When you update your content, you're telling Google, hey, I'm still relevant and valuable, and all of my information on my website is accurate. You can index it super high because we take the time to make sure that everything's up to date. 2, you may have outdated, inaccurate information posted on your website from old blog posts. So by updating it, you're simply making your website more accurate. This is also good for user experience. And 3, you've already started the SEO rankings with older blog posts, right? So instead of starting from scratch, you now have a blog post that has been around for a couple of years that you're now updating, and it can continue to grow, and it already is established within the search engine rankings. Sometimes it's more effective to boost those already established blog posts than it is to create new separate content, especially if you want to post something newer that's related to the older content. Simply upgrade the older one and repost it. Tip for you, instead of posting new blog posts next month, try updating 2 of your most popular blog posts instead. Move the publish date up, recheck your SEO settings, and spruce the content with more up-to-date and relevant information. As we head into this busy holiday season, I wanted to let you in on our Black Friday sale happening soon. This year, we're doing Black Friday a little early so we can all focus on spending some quality time with our loved ones during the actual holiday week. Obviously, this may be limited if you're booked to the brim, but that is our goal. So from November 19th to the 24th, we are offering 25% off the PMU shop to help you get your business a stress-free makeover for 2025. Let's make 2025 the year you stop working harder and start working smarter. Equip yourselves with essential tools that help you feel more efficient, less stressed, and set up for success. Here's some examples of what you can do with this. So if you are tired of struggling with an outdated website, our website templates are designed to take the hassle out of building a strategic site that actually converts visitors into paying clients. If you feel like your website isn't getting seen in the first place, our SEO course will help you climb the Google rankings and get your site seen by more eyeballs come 2025. And if client email communication feels like a never-ending chore for you, our email templates will help you streamline your emails, giving you back precious time in your day. This year, you can choose exactly what you need from our shop without feeling pressured to buy the ever-popular business bundles, making this sale a true opportunity to customize your 2025 makeover. Plus, we have some fun bonuses in the works too. Every single purchase during the sale will enter you into a branding mystery offer for 2025. We're going to randomly select 20 winners to score a mystery discount somewhere between 10 up to 50% off your branding VIP day in 2025. So will you snag a little boost or a fantastic win for your brand? You'll find out. Not only that, and this may be my favorite bonus that we've ever done yet, every single purchase during the sale will grant you the ability to get personalized feedback by me. Send me your website customization, your new welcome packet template, or your burning SEO course questions, and I will record you a short Loom video with personalized feedback on your chosen Black Friday purchase so you can get some accountability and support in the new year. So mark your calendar for November 19th through the 24th and get ready to make over your pet business while still hopefully getting some time to enjoy the holiday season with your loved ones. Now, back to the episode. Step number 5, update everything in Search Engine Console for quicker indexing. Now, this one may be my second favorite, if not my favorite too, because it's not a tip that people ever really typically talk about, but it's one that can give you the faster results that you're looking for from SEO improvements that you're already making from this episode, right? So once you've implemented updates to your website, say you've added a new service, you've removed a service, you've moved or you've changed locations, or you've implemented some of the SEO changes that we've talked about earlier in this episode, now you can go back into Search Engine Console and you can manually request indexing on the pages that you've changed rather than waiting for Google to find out you changed your website in the weeks to come. Requesting indexing will allow you to push it through manually and have Google be notified that there are changes worth looking at when it comes to the search results. This ensures that Google knows about your changes and can index your site more efficiently and quicker with your updates. This is a great tip. If you're ever making big changes to your website, I highly recommend doing that. Number 6, create local blog content. This one is truly a necessity, and it's something I see business owners not doing like time and time again. You can raise your hand if you've done this. How many of you have written a blog post titled, "Why Choose a Professional Pet Sitter?" or "Why Choose Positive Reinforcement Dog Training?" And no shame there at all. That's what you were recommended to do or what you see others doing. And perhaps you just want to separate yourself from the ones that are not professional, right? Like the hobbyist or perhaps a rover sitter or something like that, that you're trying to separate as this is what a professional pet sitter is, right? But the major problem with this is, number one, people aren't searching, why should I hire a professional pet sitter, right? So if people aren't searching for it, so you're not showing up in the search engines for it. And two, there's nothing telling Google where you're located or that it should show up specifically for people who are your potential clients in your service area. So someone from New York can be reading your blog post when really your business is located in Los Angeles. That's not helpful, right? Creating local content is a fantastic way to boost your SEO, especially because for most of you, your business serves a specific area. You can do this by writing blog posts about pet-friendly restaurants, parks, or events in your area. Local guides can help you connect with your community. It can attract more local traffic to your website and are honestly going to be more related to what searches actually happen on the internet outside of the ones inquiring specifically about what you offer in your area. And those searches are covered on other pages of your website, right? People who are searching for pet sitting in your area, they don't need to pop up on a blog post. They can show up on your pet sitting page, if that makes sense. So take some time to come up with topic ideas that are more specific to your local area. If you need more help on this, we have a guide on topic ideas for local pet businesses. You can go to petmarketingunleashed.com/blog-topics. Again, that's petmarketingunleashed.com/blog-topics. I'll also have it linked for you below in the show notes, and you can access that for more ideas for your blog posts. But in essence, you want to get more specific to reach out to your specific ideal clients versus anyone. All right, next up, set up your site hierarchy. Google breaks down your website with a site hierarchy. So when you create your website, you are setting up what text is most important by placing an H1 tag on it. Another term for it is a header tag. If you forget to do this or you don't do it properly, you may end up with no H1 tag or multiple H1 tags, which is a big no-no for Google. Google needs to know how to organize your content so it knows what your pages and sections are on your website and how people should navigate it. Without this, they have no way of knowing what your content is about, and that can drastically impact your rankings. So this was initially set up not only for Google, but also for accessibility. So for people who cannot see your website, they would be able to understand which information is most important and kind of understand how your website is laid out by categories. So you want your H1 to be your main header. You want your main subheader to be an H2, and so on all the way through to paragraph or body text. So you can do this by going into your website platform, head into the settings of each text box on your website, and make sure that your hierarchy is correct. The biggest tip here, if this overwhelms you, is to just make sure that every page of your website has an H1 tag and only one H1 tag, and that it's the most important text on your page for them to read. Last up, your final tip is to consider learning more about the SEO foundations. We do have a lot of resources on our blog for you regarding SEO, but if you want to walk through everything you need to know as a small local pet business owner, step by step, our SEO course may be a good fit for you. It's called Pet Business SEO Unleashed course, and it'll help you get found on Google without having to pay for ads. It will help you figure out where to start because you'll start off by going through our baseline SEO audit. So you'll understand where you're at, what you have done, are the foundations set up properly, and then you can kind of go from there and figure out what you need to focus your time on. It'll help you prioritize what matters. I know you're busy. We only want you focusing on what will drive results. So if you want to figure out how to rank in a saturated market, implement on-page SEO on your website, do more than just focus on or pay for keywords, understand business listings on Google, and master real-world SEO strategies that can impact your pet business's visibility, I highly recommend checking out our course at petmarketingunleashed.com/SEO-course to learn more about it, and be sure to listen to the very end of this episode for a special promo code for listeners like you. Before we wrap up, I want to go over something that doesn't often get talked about with SEO, but is really crucial to understand. Did you know that the user experience on your website significantly impacts your SEO rankings? Yep. So factors like page load speed time, mobile friendliness, the overall experience that you create for your visitors, and overall navigation play a crucial role in how search engines evaluate your site. A positive user experience not only keeps visitors on your page longer, but it also encourages them to return, which signals to search engines that your content is valuable and people want to be there. So investing in a seamless, user-friendly website isn't just good for your visitors, it can also give your SEO a much-needed boost. And of course, that's something that we can also help you with our website templates and our custom design services. Whether you decide to go the template route or you want to get it built from scratch, all of our websites are built with those factors in mind, and you can learn about each option on our website at petmarketingunleashed.com. I just think it's really important to get back to the focus that people typically focus on when it comes to SEO is, okay, keywords, keywords, keywords. It's not just about keywords. It's all of these things working together, right? You get your on-page SEO settings intact. You connect your website to Search Engine Console. You make sure all of your content is strategic, right? You're writing local content. You're making sure you don't have any broken links. Everything is up to date in terms of the content on your website. But there are other factors at play here. We need to make sure your website is mobile friendly. You need to make sure that everything kind of resonates. You have brand messaging that sticks with people. It resonates with people. People feel understood by you. So now they want to learn more. They're clicking on other pages of your website. The user experience of your website makes a huge difference with SEO. So that's something to definitely keep in mind when it comes to your website. It's more than just a place for people to get your phone number or get your email address. It's actually a selling machine. And by doing all those things, that can also impact your SEO. So I know we went into very specific SEO related tips and SEO settings and things like that, but I also wanted to include the important factor of making sure your website is up to par, even outside of what you would consider is involved in SEO, if that makes sense. Okay, that's it. To recap, here are the 7 SEO steps we recommend to help you rank higher on Google faster. Number 1, ensure proper indexing, so connecting to Search Engine Console and making sure your website is properly indexed on Google. 2, conduct a broken link check and fix any broken links on your website. 3, revise page title tags and any other page settings like your page slugs and meta descriptions. 4, update old blog posts instead of always writing new ones. This one's my favorite, such a good time saver. 5, when making big changes to your website, make sure to update everything in Search Engine Console and request indexing for the relevant changed pages. 6, create more local specific blog content. 7, set up site hierarchy with all of the text on your website, including and especially the headers and subheaders. And lastly, I'm going to have like a honorary 8. Take the time to learn more about SEO, whether it's doing some online searching, reading through our blog, or joining our course. Okay, that is all I have for you today. Don't forget to take the time to implement some of these things in your website. And of course, manually request updated indexing in Search Engine Console when you're done. You've got this. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have more specific questions about SEO, or you want us to dive deeper into something on search rankings or SEO or websites in general, please send us a suggestion via DM on Instagram. We would love to hear from you. We're at Pet Marketing Unleashed. And remember to check out our SEO course for more in-depth strategies and insights. Use the promo code shared at the end of this episode for a special discount. Until next time, keep unleashing your pet marketing potential. You've got this. Thanks for sticking with me until the very end of today's episode. It really means a lot. That's why I'm excited to share an end of podcast listener only exclusive discount with you today. One of the top things pet business owners tell me they want is to rank number 1 on Google. So Pet Marketing Unleashed went to work and created our course, Pet Business SEO Unleashed. It's built for busy pet business owners who don't know much or anything about SEO and don't know where to start to make it happen. Inside the course, I walk you through the process step by step, from how to connect to Search Engine Console to what on-page SEO settings you need to customize, how to rank in a saturated market, and so much more. SEO is one of the most powerful ways to stand out from the competition and get more eyes on your business, and we've made it accessible for you to do on your own. Because you're a part of the PMU podcast community and you stuck around till the very end, we'd love to gift you a 10% discount on the SEO course when you use the code PMU podcast at checkout. To enroll, head on over to petmarketingunleashed.com/SEO-course, and don't forget to use the code PMU podcast to save 10%. And if you found today's episode helpful, I would so appreciate it if you shared it with a friend or left a review and rating, as that's one of the best ways you can support our podcast. Thanks again so much for listening, and I will be back soon with another episode.